Hello. In the last coffee chat, we talked about the history of Ukraine.
Yeah, I have seen all the genesis of the Ukrainian state, the OSCE, its formation, the relations between Ukraine and its neighbors, particularly in the last 200 years between Ukraine and Russia. We have seen in different discussions that history is a cyclical progression of events, phenomena, and various aspects of people's lives around the world. We have seen that some current conflicts, some current agreements, some conflict situations yet, such as Japan and Russia. Japan, aside for the dispute over some islands, have ancient roots. And understanding the past better helps us to better comprehend the current modern picture. Understanding what the problems of the past were, their genesis, their evolution, and their solution helps us better comprehend the problems of the current world and what their outcomes and solutions might be. Pues, so we have seen the history of Ukraine, so Coro de la Ukraine, and today we will see a different perspective of the current situation through lawyer Gabriele Dallara, who is the president of an association called Eurojamslava, which deals with contracts between Italy and Ukraine. Titodipay Ipo, very privileged contacts that are direct and better understanding what the current situation will be, what the Ukrainians' points of view are, what the Ukrainians expect from Italy and Europe, and what the possible solution to this terrible current issue is. So we will also ask him about the meaning of the word domicilio, which is a word of his own creation that is injected into this situation in this context. So we ask lawyer Gabriele Dallara, a criminal lawyer, what his association mainly deals with, what the developments are, and what the meaning of the word domicilio is.
Hello, Gianluca. Thank you for hosting me on your blog, which is very nice. Well, you ask me, first of all, thank you for the introduction as well, which I certainly don't deserve. You asked me something about myself. I am the president of the association Herojamslava of La Spezia, which is an association with which, together with a group of friends, we help Ukrainian refugees. I am the president of the association La Baia delle Favole of Sestri Levante, which since the 1990s, I have not been president since the 1990s. I have been for a couple of years, but since the 1990s, this association has been providing free summer vacations for Ukrainian children affected by the Chernobyl disaster. I am also an honorary ambassador of the Kherson region because I organized, by creating the necessary institutional connections, I organized the memorandums and meetings between the Liguria region, the city of La Spezia, Confindustria, and the administrations of Kherson. Obviously, I am a pro-Ukrainian activist, so there's no point in asking me what I think from this point of view. And for the outcome of the war, honestly, I don't know what to say. I am generally an optimistic person and I follow the information that comes daily from mainstream channels and also hearing some confidential sources say directly on site in Ukraine. I wouldn't know what to say. Sometimes it seems like there might be some glimmer of peace, of agreement, but not yet. We still don't have anything definitive. Let's hope for the best. Obviously, Ukraine, and the hope of all of us supporters is that it manages to drive the invaders as far away as possible. However, obviously, realism must come into play in this dynamic, and so we wait to see what will happen. Regarding the history of Ukraine, well, it would be nice to say a few words to maybe silence. It will be a bit difficult, but anyway, trying some the various pro-Russian Putin supporters, I think it's impossible, because I see that it's also difficult even when explained by people much more prepared than me in debates on television media, on social media, etc., that Ukraine is in every respect, even historical, sovereign over the territories claimed by Russia. But, well, maybe another time, if I don't want to drag this out too much on this aspect, maybe another time, if we do another episode on your blog, we will have a chance to talk about this too. You also asked me about the word domicidio. The word domicidio is a calque of the word homicide. I invented it as an Italian word, and indeed it was recorded in the Treccani dictionary in the neologisms of 2024. In particular reference, Quinta Aki Dinda Inadira Vifusa, it made headlines in relation to the events in Gaza, but it can also be used in relation to Ukraine. Actually, I didn't use it in that sense, even though I am connected to Ukraine. I used it for the first time, I repeat, in Italy. I used it writing an article about a news event, namely a fine that was imposed on a homeless person who had left their residence during COVID. It was then indeed included in the Treccani dictionary, and well, I must say I am very, very happy about this. It gives me great satisfaction. My blog, on which I write very little, but among the good resolutions for 2026 is also to write more. It's a blog that deals with, let's say, legal topics, but in a light manner, sometimes even humorously, often starting from news events. The blog is called blob.it, blob spelled B-L-A-W-B, it, blob.it. I repeat, a blog, so don't be misled by the fact it starts with legal topics, because in reality it is a blog that, at least in intention, aims to be light. Thank you for the hospitality, Gianluca, and, well, whenever you want, if there's interest in exploring some historical topics related to Ukraine, I'm available. Goodbye to you and to all the readers of your blog. Bye. See you soon.